Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. We never skip a drink day.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
Oh! Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Saints Happy Hour podcast. As always, we are brought to you by Ponchatoula Hard. We are brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey and Bev Test's best flavored whiskey of 2025, Chilton County Peach Whiskey. See, Kevin, the intro changed because Chilton County Peach went out here and started winning awards. And now I can't do the intro on autopilot anymore because we got to remind people how amazing the whiskeys are. They're winning freaking awards, but it's throwing me off.
So they're winning. You're saying they're going to catch up to us eventually.
They're going to catch up to us, and we're not going to keep winning awards because our host is falling down on the job. If you find us on YouTube, thanks for finding us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour. Become a patron. It's amazing. You should do it. If you have trouble signing up, email me, saintshappyhour@gmail.com. I'll get you signed up. It's super easy. We want everybody to sign up. We don't want any hurdles in the way of supporting the show. All right. So,
and you get to join the Discord.
And you get to join the Discord. The Discord really, it kind of goes in lulls, but like once free agency hits, the Discord is popping through the draft. Like if you're just like sick of X or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and you're like, I just want to talk Saints and I don't want all the crud. Our Discord, Kevin, I mean, it's awesome. Like, even if it wasn't our podcast, like I would like hanging out in our Discord. It's fun.
Right.
I'm there all the time. You're there all the time.
I'll take a shot at Twitter while we're here. It's become worse because all of the ads that I had previously blocked are now back. And I've tried to, it's like, I'll see an ad, I'll go to block it, and it says unblock. So wait a minute, I had this thing blocked and it's showing up now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then there are some of them that I had blocked and or muted before, both, and they're showing back up. Twitter now, it's just, but Twitter got to make its money. No, they don't.
I don't understand. I pay for the special thing, the $100 a year or whatever, and I thought it saved me from ads and all that. It does not. But anyway,
Elon can go screw. So yes. let's get to this thing.
Go play in traffic.
Yeah, let's get to this.
So here's the thing: we get ready for the draft, and listen, we got 5 weeks, and Kevin's, believe me, he's going to do 2, 3, 4 more mock drafts. We'll if you got a mock drafting, we'll get you fed.
Good
of your appetite of mock drafts. Trust me on that.
The public deserves it.
We wanted to change today up a little bit when we said, I was thinking, Kevin, we would do like fuck, marry, kill, but it doesn't really match up with the draft picks. So what I did was we'll talk about players we love. We'll talk about players we hate. And we'll talk about player that we are scared of. And that can be scared of for any reason. It can be injuries. It could be you don't want the Saints trading up for him. You could feel like he's not going to be any good, but he might be. Those reasons don't have to do. It doesn't have to be any one thing.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about it, me and you were going back and forth and doing listing the players we loved and hated and are scared of, so Thomas can make the graphics. The first one is really interesting because you love David Bailey out of Texas Tech, and I hate it. So you explain to me why you love David Bailey from Texas Tech, and I will explain to you why I hate him.
Okay, so hang on. I'm going to pull this up here because I've got the Raz coming up. Oh, I love slow internet. So Raz, 9.67. Yeah. Elite on the speed, elite on explosion. His thing is he is slightly undersized. He has big hands. Yeah. Arm length is good. But again, 9.67.
That's the razzmatazz there.
So he ranks, according to Math Bomb on Twitter, he ranks 68th out of 2,046 defensive ends that have been rated between 1987 and 2026.
Yeah.
Now look, let's say Bailey is about 250. Let's say you don't want to throw him at defensive end because the Saints run a 3-4.
He struggles versus the
You're
run.
going to need a bigger guy in a 3-4 on you're going to need big edges. Okay. Move David Bailey to a stand-up outside, like stand-up linebacker. I mean, they all stand, but move him to a stand-up guy on the outside and just let him go and just let him create chaos. The Saints need a replacement for Demario Davis, and they do need a replacement for Cam Jordan. You draft that guy. You let Brandon Staley take a look at him. I mean, I'm sure Brandon Staley's already taken a look at him. The Saints did meet with him. But you have Brandon Staley say, and the team figure out, are we going to use him as a defensive end or are we going to use him as a linebacker?
Yeah.
And let him go and just let the guy go. The Saints need the Saints are going to need a explosive, fiery guy that the fan base can latch onto, that you can build the defense around. We're turning the whole page. We're starting a new chapter. All the metaphors, all the silly analogies. Get this guy out of Texas Tech. He's been successful everywhere he's been. He's been an award winner, an All-American, the whole deal. Like I think he led. I think he led NCAA football last season with the most sacks.
He is.
Again. I don't know how anybody could hate him. But now, Ralph, you go right ahead and tell me why you hate him.
Because I worry that he'll be a stand-up linebacker, but he won't be able to hold up against the run. And I worry when he played elite teams, like in the playoffs, he got erased kind of. And here's the thing with him. I just worry that his speed is incredible. His bend is incredible, but that's what he is. And he's going to be a limited guy. Like he's not going to be an all around player. And that worries me. And sleight of frame. And also something about a player of his size. It scares me. And his frame is kind of maxed out. The one thing I'll say for him is that he isn't the Marcus Davenport kind of player where Marcus Davenport was kind of small and then he added a shit ton of weight and they're like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And it like wasn't like clearly like Marcus Davenport, like his body fell apart when he added all the weight. So that's a good sign for him. But I just like if you told me the choice was between David Bailey and Delane from LSU or Sonny Styles, like I just feel like he's not as safe a pick as those guys. Maybe hate's too strong a word, but I don't like him. I don't like the cut of his jib. I worry that he's going to be a one-trick pony, and if that trick isn't amazing, like if he's not a 9-sack dude, he's not going to give you anything else. He can't do in pass coverage standing up. He can't defend the run. Like he better deliver sacks and pressures, because if he doesn't have another pitch.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to talk about who I love.
Okay.
And this is going to drive some people crazy because it's an offensive lineman. And the Saints have gone tackle the last 2 years. But to me, Kevin, it's not really about that. This is about.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not. It's Penn State offensive lineman. Let me see if I can pronounce his name right. Yo Ane. And then that's his last name. His first name is Ulai Va Vang Ah Ho Ane. That's how you say his name. See, this is my white whale. If the Saints can draft this guy, I want the challenge of his name. I feel like by like middle 2027, I can have it down. Now, he plays guard, which would make some people mad, but I feel like, Kevin, if you traded down from 8 and you got him in the middle teens and you had Edwards and Yo Ane at guard, and you had your 2 tackles and you had McCoy healthy, like you would have the best fucking line in the league. And I just feel like that I'm willing to work on my pronunciation. It would be my biggest challenge ever. I feel like give me 18 months and I could have it down.
Brother, I think we could give you 180 months and it wouldn't be enough. So my only issue, I guess, with him, and let me scroll down to find him, just make absolutely sure I'm saying this correctly. Not like I got to say his name or anything, but he has played his last 3 seasons overwhelmingly, almost entirely on the left side.
And the Saints just spent
a bunch of money to bring in David Edwards, who plays on the left side. Now, maybe, if Andrew were here, he could tell me how hard is it to switch from
harder than you think.
Say
Not as
again?
hard as pronouncing his name, but hard.
Now, they did move Flaga from
left tackle back to right.
Right. I don't know how hard that is.
Fulaga was originally a right tackle, so they moved him to left because
and then okay,
Penning was so trash, and they were like, we gotta,
okay, well then that explains that. But if you can draft him and think you can mold him into the right guard, because ultimately Cesar Ruiz has got to go.
That's right.
So if you think he can take the job from Cesar Ruiz, then I say by all means go for it.
Okay, Yo Ane. That's how.
Yo Ane.
Yo Ane. Here's my thing, Kevin. Why I think you should get on board with my love of him. One,
I'm
you
not
should
disputing
support
it.
your,
Listen,
you should
I have
support
no.
your friend
I'm
and
not
wanting
afraid
to better himself and learn pronunciations and stuff. First of all, that should be number one. But number two, I think if the Saints would draft him, it would almost ensure that they trade down. They're not going to take him at 8.
Right.
If I told you the Saints would trade from 8 to 17 with the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions would trade up and take a tackle, and the Saints would take Ioane at 17.
Wait, I thought it was Ioane.
Ioane, you're right.
See? You need 180 months.
180 months. So by the time, will I still be alive in 180 months? No. If they did that, would you be on board with it?
Trade down to 17. I mean, look, I would be obviously I would be happy because you're trading down and you're getting
you'd be getting a lot. You'd be getting like an extra second.
Right. Well, I mean, you'd be getting a position. You'd still be getting a position of need because hopefully the intent would be we're just going to start him over Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
You would get an extra pick, maybe two, depending on on how that unfolded. I mean, I would be okay with it. And Ralph, I certainly hope you would be here in 180 months because I just did the math and it's only 15 years. You would be 65.
So I could collect Social Security. And so you say Yo Ane is how you say.
That's how you were saying. You said it earlier. It's
That's
like
how
Ioane.
Google says it. Yo Ane. Vega Ioane is how he likes to be known. I love it. And like we could have it would, the jokes would make themselves. But like I said, like I think the Saints would have their offensive line would be incredible. You would have two road grading guards, two great tackles, Eric McCoy. Like if you stayed healthy, I think you could have the kind of line that those Tony Romo early Dak Prescott teams had, like where everybody's like, God damn, you have a line. Now you invested ridiculous amount into this line.
Yeah.
So it of course should be this good, but it would be the envy of the league, I think.
Well, that's why I still think the Saints should invest a later round pick, fourth or beyond, into a center. I still don't trust. I do not trust Eric McCoy to remain healthy. Like if we roll into the start of the regular season and any of the four of us are having to say, man, if Eric McCoy stays healthy, no good.
Yeah.
No good. We need to have a backup that we could point to and say, if Eric McCoy gets dinged in week 6 and is out for the next 4 weeks, this person can come in and do a yeoman's job.
And let's be realistic. Like they stumbled into Fortner drunk last year. Like we did not, when they traded for Fortner, we were making jokes. We did not think he would be a really good center.
Yeah.
And get a free agent contract where he would be a starter for the Panthers in 2026. So like they were fortunate into that. And like the draft at center, right? It like they don't have like elite ones, but they got a handful of like dudes, right? In the middle rounds, right?
Yes. The guy I keep keying in on is from Kentucky. His name's like Yager Burton.
Oh, that's a great name.
He's primarily a center. He has experience in playing guard. So let's just say McCoy is healthy.
Yeah. Fine.
Then you have this Yager Burton guy as a tremendous depth piece.
Yeah.
For your entire interior.
You're not like, hopefully the Saints won't be on the bottom end of the spectrum where I think only one or two teams played the same 5 guys less than the Saints. Like hopefully they'll be healthier, but like the odds are someone's going to get nicked, right? You're good. Like whether it's McCoy, Edward, like someone's going to miss games. So, but hopefully it's not too many. But what I'm saying is, if you had a guy and you're like, oh, we can just plug him, we can plug that guy in at guard. You got to have, I think, on the offensive line, you got to have 7 guys that you can play and feel like none of them will be a disaster. Like, I'm not saying your 7th guy has to be good. I'm just saying you got to be able to play him and be like, we could play that guy this week and he won't be a turnstile and he won't get totally he won't totally destroy everything we want to do on offense. So I'm just saying, oh, Ioane, I'm for you. I promise. Week 12 of 2027, I'll have it down. All right. So the next one, Kevin, is another player that me and you overlapped on. Just like David Bailey, you loved him, I hated him.
Yeah.
Jordan Tyson, Arizona State, you hate him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of him. And I think maybe there's a difference, but maybe there's not. Maybe when we discuss it, it won't be that much different. But explain why you hate him.
So I hate him, but you could tell me, but I'm trying to think how to say this. I hate him, but it is coming out of a place of being scared. What I hate is that I'm having to try and open up a tweet here on my phone and it's not going to work out. Oh well. Um, what I hate is that there's enough questions that make me say, damn it, why can't you either be, why can't I look at you and say yes immediately or no immediately?
Yeah.
So you've got the knee, he blows out his MCL, ACL, PCL in 2022. He has a collarbone injury in 2024,
Mm-hmm.
hamstring problems in 2025. I read somewhere where it said that he has not completed an entire season in college. So
If he gets drafted in the first round, he'll be a first round wide receiver with the fewest games played like ever. Like his profile for games played as a wide receiver, like it just like simply put, you don't wide receivers that miss as much time as him do not get drafted in the first round. Period. End of discussion. My thing with him is I'm petrified of him because his tape, Kevin, like if you just go to YouTube and watch his highlights, is incredible. Like when he plays, it's incredible. Speed, separation. He has improved his catching ability. His drop rate plummeted. Like he's a super hard worker. But and I know people in our Discord, by the way, join our Discord. It's amazing. They say, well, Tyler Shough was injured too, and it worked out fine. I'm like, yeah, but Tyler Shough had a broken collarbone and a broken leg. Like he had broken bones. This dude checks every kind of injury. You just went through it, Kevin. It's a hamstring. It's broken collarbone. It's a blown out knee, every ligament. Like it's a cavalcade of injuries. And he scares me because I really believe he is either going to be out of the league in like 4 years because the injuries just won't stop, or every team that picked the wide receiver in the first round that didn't pick him are going to be like, God, we should have just rolled the dice and picked him because he's awesome. Like he could supercharge the Saints offense and make them unbelievable. Like if he was healthy and you had him and Olave and Shough and you the offensive line came together, like I could see the Saints, this offense being like top 10. It could be that amazing, but he could also stop this Saints rebuild in its tracks because we're seeing tweets from Ross Jackson like, yeah, it's the third week of preseason and Jordan Tyson has yet to see the field. He was running on the side. He was wearing the red jersey, and they're hoping that he'll be able to go full practice by week 1. Like, so like he scares me to death. That's fear. And I understand why you would say you hate him. Don't put him on my board. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah, the other thing that I don't like is the small hands measurement.
Yeah.
But here's part of the thing. Here's part of why I hate him. Like, the idea of him. I don't actually hate Jordan Tyson as a human being. It's 2026. Somehow I feel I have to say that in advance. But the guy benched 225 26 times, which is, I think, one short of the record for a receiver. So that was the one thing he did at the combine. Like he didn't do any of the other things at the combine. There's no RAS score on this guy, but he sure as hell went and bench pressed 225 26 times. So he's strong as hell right now. I don't, I don't know what that's going to mean for his legs, but there's a very impressive thing in his favor. But
Well,
it just
if he
that's all part of what makes me mad. Is it's like, God damn it, couldn't you have just benched it like 9 times or something, or just a low
Yeah.
number for a receiver? Couldn't you have just been seen hobbling around a little in Indianapolis?
couldn't you have just medicals just
so-
be an
just so I
absolute
could
disaster
cut
at
you
the
off?
combine, so we could just take you off our board and not be enthralled by your talent?
Right. Just write you off and just say, look, this is a guy who and look at him like, oh, he'll slide to the third round, and maybe, maybe that's somebody worth taking a flyer on at that point. But no, instead it's, yeah, this guy could be, this is a first round talent,
Here-
blah, blah, blah.
Here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think it'll happen because Will Johnson last year at this time was like projected to be like a top 10 pick corner out of Michigan. And then they're like, yeah, his knee is degenerative, and he plummeted, right? He plummeted past where the Saints, because when the Saints took shock, a huge part of Saints Twitter was like, you took the old injured quarterback. Why didn't you take the guy who was going to be a top 10 pick at corner? Here's my question. If Jordan Tyson had a calamitous fall and the Saints went Bailey at pick 8, they desperately need a receiver, Kevin, because their receiver room, I feel like Olave, he's hurt all the time.
Right.
Vele, he got hurt this past year. They need a guy. You need to feel good about it. But if Jordan Tyson was there at 42, knowing what you know about the Saints wide receiver room and all their injury concerns, would at pick 42, would at that point you'd be like, I gotta do it? Or would you still be like, no, I can't?
That's a real good question. I'm genuinely stumped. I'm genuinely trying to like search my feelings on this one. I could see, I look at it like I look at Chris Bell. Like, I think the idea of taking Chris Bell, even if you traded, depending how far you traded back and how many picks you got in return, you could convince me of something like that. But if, let's say, it was just no trades, pick 8, you got either David Bailey or Mansour Delaney. It's like you filled one of those big needs. And now we come to 42. And you got both Bell and Tyson sitting there, but really the question is about Tyson. I get it. I would strongly consider taking Tyson. At the same time, I am saying we are drafting another wide receiver, and we're probably picking another one up in UDFA.
Yeah.
Because we can't have, like, the idea of the Saints 1, 2, and 3 options all having injury question marks around them are that's scary.
That's terrifying. Thing is, though, I feel like at 42, for me personally, I run to the podium. And yes, he could get injured. He could be Kendra Miller, where he's hurt all the time. And he could be, I think Jordan Tyson, I think his worst case scenario is he's the wide receiver version of Davenport, where when he plays, you'll be like, oh my God, he's transcended. This is amazing. He's the best player. He's the best player on the offense, but it won't be enough. Like Marcus Davenport, for the 11 games that he played in 2021, he was the best player on a top 3 defense for the Saints, but he never played. So he's a tough one. He's a really tough one. And the thing is, like, if you think I'm being hyperbolic and all that, all I would say is go to YouTube, watch the dude's highlights, and then I think you'll understand the dilemma that me or Kevin are in. You, Kevin, for the final player we're going to discuss today, the player you are scared of, is Makai Lemon.
Yes.
And this, I think, is going to trend in a more normal direction for why you are scared of Makai Lemon. But proceed.
So I alluded to it with Tyson. The Saints wide receiver room. We can't roll into 2026 with this receiving room as is. So we need a number 2 to come in here and demonstrate that they can take pressure away from Olave and just have more options for Shuck. And if you have more options at receiver, technically it helps your running back situation. It just rising tide lifts all boats, that kind of thing. I cannot get behind drafting a 5'11" guy with small hands and small arms to be your number 2 when he is flanked at your number 1 and your number 3 by guys that have injury problems. Yeah. If Chris Olave did not have the sword of Damocles dangling over him with the concussions, I could understand drafting Malachi Lemon because he's so highly touted. I'd still be against it, but I could understand it. This I don't understand. He didn't do enough things at the combine to get a RAS score. His composite size is poor. I obviously. Composite speed grade is good, but his hand size is low. Arm length is low. I had somebody tried pointing out, well, Puka Nacua is small, and he's great. Puka Nacua is 20 some odd pounds. Puka Nacua is nearly 20 pounds heavier, has bigger hands and longer arms.
Yeah, and Puka Nacua, he fell to the 5th round because he was hurt all the time in college.
So, so again, that's an injury guy that fell, and somebody took a flyer on him.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Lemon. He struggles to separate, and to me, if I'm picking somebody at 8, you got to check all the measurable boxes. I can't take an exception for the measurables at 8. You know what I'm saying? You can't it's too high. It's too high because the thing is, when you pick in the top 10, you got to hit, you got to get a good player, but 2, you really want to hit and be get one of those players that are in the NFL top 100 list and a rock guy that you're going to give a second contract to. Here's a question that I want to ask you, because I really believe this with these receivers. You got Tate, you got Lemon, and you got Tyson. I really believe one of them is going to be a gigantic bust. I don't know which one. I'm not, because you can't ever predict that. But I truly believe that. They're all 3 not going to be good because all 3 of them have such serious flaws. One of them is going to be a bust. So let's assume that I'm correct. And I'm going to tell you, one of them is going to be an absolute gigantic bust. I cannot tell you about the other receivers in the draft, but either Tyson, Lemon, or Tate is going to be a bust. With that, if you knew that going in, would you avoid all 3 because of it?
At 8?
In general, and at 8 too.
At 8, definitely. At 8, I would say. I mean, look. Obviously, my preference is Bailey, Mansoor, Styles, and then Tate at 8. But if you told me the bust scenario, then I would say, okay, fine, take Tate out and throw Caleb Downs in there.
Yeah.
Fine. You get to see, I don't know if I would want to roll the dice even at 42.
I mean,
I don't know if I would roll the dice at
basically
42.
you have a 30% bust rate of the
30% chance, 30% chance of it just being an absolute debacle.
That's right.
I don't know, because I would look at that and say, let's get to the second round, because when you get to the second round, I believe you're looking at the guy from Tennessee. Are you looking at the guy from Tennessee?
Louisville.
No. Louisville is Chris Bell.
Yeah.
There's a guy from Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Brazil the second,
that's right.
I believe.
That's right.
He is 6'4". No, 6'5". Sorry, 6'5". And yeah, he'd be there at 42, seemingly. So I would just look at it like those three guys. I'd probably take a flyer if you told me there was a 30% chance that there'd be a bust.
This has been fun. I enjoyed this. We need to do this again, or unless we do a ton of mock drafts in this. But I think this is an interesting exercise because it makes us sort of think about these players, and it's not just to me. When you're talking about draft, it's not just about the tape evaluation and it's about, if he's a high bust potential, do you bump him down? And the thing about these wide receivers, besides Tyson, who has incredible physical skills, I just look at Lemon and I look at Tate, and I don't love either one. Like I don't love either one of them. Like, even Olave, when the Saints took him, people were like, yes, he's kind of slight of frame. We worry about him, but he's the best route runner in this draft. And when you draft him, you're going to drop him in. He's going to be NFL ready, and he's going to be good from the jump. And that they were exactly right about Olave. He was great from the jump for the Saints, but he's kind of slight of frame, has trouble, contested catch, doesn't have a lot of strength. We didn't know the injury concerns then. So I'm just saying these receivers, I know they say the receivers are deep, and everybody says, I see these drafting as, well, whichever one is left, the Saints will take them. I'm like, I just can't see the Saints loving all three of these receivers. I just refuse to believe it. And I'll bet you there's at least one of them that they're like, yeah, we're not taking him. So anyway, any final thoughts, Kevin, before we get out of here?
It feels weird that the draft is now. It feels weird that the draft is 5 weeks away. Like, it feels closer. It feels more like it's 3 weeks away. Just because of all the mock drafts I've been doing, and like how much like in my mind, like I would say in the last week, I've really ramped up the whole thinking about who we should take at 8. Because it's like I keep pining for them to trade down, but I'm more focused on, well, if they stay at 8, who do you take? And yeah, like I've been trying to stick to a
I wouldn't say that it's easier, but free agency adds an excitement and like a focus, right? Because before free agency, you're like, well, they need a running back, maybe Jordan Love, they need this, they need that. Now it's like they got a guard, they got a linebacker, they got Achane. So like they filled these holes. So now it's like and I'm doing it too, you can go in that mock draft and you can say, okay, they need these things and I got to get them. So it makes it more fun. But 5 weeks, it seems close, but it's far away. But I'll tell you what, Kevin, before you know it, it'll be the week before the draft and we'll be making final calls and we'll be having our final mock draft extravaganza.
That'll be nice. I look forward to it.
I can't wait. This offseason has been amazing. And I just want to say, go to patreon.com/saintshappyhour. Sign up. We've had a bunch of new people sign up. We're having a blast. Like I said, Kevin said before, get in the Discord. It's fun. All these things you get from joining Saints Happy Hour. We're the most fun Saints community out there. So you should do it. So for Kevin, for Thomas, who will be editing the show back in Poland, I'm Ralph. Until next time, the bar is closed.